Quick Measure on screen will help you to do your takeoffs from a CD, a PDF file, or any digital blueprint that you have downloaded from an online plans room or it's been sent to you by email. You do your takeoffs directly on screen simply by using the mouse on your computer to click around the blueprint image displayed on your screen to do your takeoffs for square footage, linear footage, and item counts. Quick Measure on screen will help you take off any blueprint image in any digital file format, a PDF, a TIFF, bitmap, in whatever format the original blueprint was scanned. There is no digitizer equipment involved and no paper blueprints. You're simply using the mouse on your PC to click around the blueprint image on the screen to do your takeoffs for square footage, linear footage, and item counts. Quick Measure on screen will work fine in Windows XP, Windows Vista, or Windows 7 and does not require any special computer hardware, although we do recommend a larger monitor from 24 to 27 inches. Quick Measure on screen will work fine for all building trades except for earthwork. If you have an interest in earthwork cut and fill takeoff on screen, please call us at 1-800-731-3038. What you're looking at now on the screen is a sample Excel spreadsheet for doing concrete takeoffs. This is a simplified version of an Excel sheet, but it's meant to represent how the Quick Measure on-screen product will work along with your own Excel spreadsheets that you've got set up for yourself. We strongly recommend that this is the best way to use the Quick Measure program is directly along with your own current Excel spreadsheets that you've already set up for yourself to do your takeoffs. The Quick Measure on screen will work by itself or along with other Windows applications, but this really is the best way to use the Quick Measure product is right inside of your own Excel spreadsheets. Quick Measure on screen will work fine with all versions of Excel. This happens to be Excel 2007, but it also works fine with Office 2000 or Office 2003. So how it works is once you load the Quick Measure on screen software on your computer, and then you open up one of your Excel spreadsheets, you notice an add-in menu comes up here at the top. So we click on that, and what that does is that brings up the Quick Measure menu here, and also the takeoff buttons along the top that allow you to do the takeoffs off of the PDF files. This button right here allows you to do linear footage measurements. It's good for doing footings and walls, anything by the linear foot. This button right here is for measuring square footages, which is good for slabs if you're looking at a plan view overhead, or you can also do wall elevation takeoffs as well by the square foot. This button here is for taking off linear footages in sections or segments, which is good for doing footing runs, for instance. This button here is for doing item counts off the PDF file in case we need to count anything off the drawing. Over here we have the lookup button here that allows us to go back and look at any particular line item that we've taken off from our Excel sheet. It'll tie that quantity directly back to the original visual image where we did that takeoff off of each PDF file that we were working on. Now to do our takeoff, we'll go to the Quick Measure menu here and we'll select for Manage On-Screen Images. Then we'll look for Manage Plans here and we'll hit the Add button here. Now what that'll do is that'll take us out to our CD or out to some Windows folders where we've downloaded some PDF files from a plans room, or maybe they've been sent to us by email or whatever. So if we open up the drawing bid folder here, we have a couple structural drawings in here that we'll start to work on. Now you can work on as many PDF sheets as you need to. You could have 15 or 20 different PDF sheets that you're working on at the same time, which makes it easy in case you need to flip around various sheets, look at some details or some specs or whatever. So in order to take off, we'll be working in the quantity column of our Excel sheet here, and we can take off one item at a time or a range of items. So we'll start with a couple basic takeoff items here. We'll hit our takeoff buttons there at the top, and what that'll do is that'll bring up the Quick Measure on-screen program. This is the main screen of the Quick Measure on-screen program here. And what it'll do is it'll go out and it'll grab those two PDF sheets that we looked at here. They show up in a tab format down here at the bottom. By the way, you can also rename these tabs down here to whatever name you want to give it to it here, because one of the problems with working with some of these PDFs on these CDs here is they don't really mark these descriptions on these very much, so we'll just call that a structural plan, let's say. That makes that much easier for you to go around and flip around various sheets. So this particular sheet that we're looking at here has been scanned in vertically, so let's use the rotate image button here, and that'll flip it around head on so we can work on it here. So now we have the full sheet of the original structural plan right here in front of us. Now in order to make sure we get a really good look at the plan, there's some really easy, convenient screen handling features that we have. One is the scroll wheel here on the mouse. If you hit it, you'll notice how it zooms in real quick, and you can zoom in real tight or zoom back out. You also have the right-hand mouse button here. If you press down on that, you notice it brings up this little grab utility here. It gives you a real smooth way to maneuver around the drawing here. You also have a full sheet view over here in the lower left-hand corner. If you need to click around the drawing real quick, you can click, like, let's say, the lower right or upper right or back in the center. You see how it allows you to very quickly and easily maneuver around, the digital plane here that we're looking at. Now, you guys out there that have worked with digitizers in the past know that before we do the takeoff, we had to apply a scale to the drawing, and so we do the same thing here with the PDF. We can work on a graphic scale or a dimension line somewhere. If there are no dimensions, we can always use a column line or a doorway somewhere that we can at least apply a scale to it that way. Now we find a dimension line here, so we'll apply the scale by hitting the scale box here in the upper left-hand corner. And to apply the scale, we simply mouse click on one end of the dimension line, swing over to the other end, and then we'll use the OK Done button here in the center, and we'll type in that that's 54 linear feet, and that applies the scale to this particular sheet that we want to do a takeoff on. Now it'll keep that scale. Anytime we come back to the drawing later, it's going to know that it was scaled before. If you notice, by the way, in the lower right-hand corner, it's 8.04 scale, so it's basically 8 scale anyway. Now to do a takeoff, let's say we'll start with a basic square footage takeoff here, and we'll apply that to the slabs, let's say. And we can apply a certain color just like we would with a highlighter on a set of paper plans. So when you want to do a square footage takeoff, you just simply click around the perimeter of the area that you want to measure. You're just mouse clicking on either corner. Now you notice how the red color that we selected kind of follows along with us. And we just kind of go along, and it doesn't really matter how many bump outs or offsets there are. You're just going to click around the perimeter of the area that you want to measure the square footage of. And we're just going to go all the way around, clicking. You notice how the colors follow along with us. Now when we get to a radial shape, you notice you can either trace or you can just apply a few more mouse clicks here when you go around a curve. And we'll just kind of come back to where we started. And then, of course, that image there is saved for us. We can then print that out on a piece of paper or save the original image back to our spreadsheet. When we hit the OK Done button, you notice what that'll do is that swings that quantity directly back to that cell of the spreadsheet for us. So we now have 20,313 square foot of slab. That quantity we just took off in red has been transferred directly back to that cell of our spreadsheet. Of course, whatever formulas or calculations you've got going on your spreadsheet, they'll take it from there. But we're just showing you how you would get the original quantity right there. Now to do some more takeoff items, we'll go back to our takeoff sheet here. And of course, we still have the original marked up image there. Now let's say we were going to do some footings. We could apply a certain color to those too. Let's say we wanted to do, let's say they wanted to mark them up in purple or something like that. And so we'd say we're going to do a segment here. Now we can also, by the way, we can turn off the previous visual measurement if we want, so we can get a better look at what we're doing, let's say. So we're going to come in here. If we're going to measure linear foot, we'll just click one end of the, back here, make sure we got the footing types here. Yeah. So we select, just click from spot to spot here. There's one end of the footing, and then click the other end of the footing run. So you notice what it's going to do. It's going to total up the total linear footage of any particular footing that we've selected. You kind of get an idea of what we're doing here. You're just really mouse clicking from one end to the other, and it'll, if we need to maneuver around the drawing, we can move around like this, and we're just going to click from each of those linear runs there back to where we were here, let's say. And once we hit the OK Done button, you notice what it'll do is it'll transfer that quantity directly back to that cell of the spreadsheet. So we have 204 linear foot of that particular type of footing. And by the way, if we need to see those, we can just highlight those items, go back to our lookup icon there, and it'll show us the marked up PDF sheet that as we did our original takeoff right there, which can then, as I mentioned before, could be printed out on a piece of paper or stored at a hard drive. But all the quantities are tied directly back to the original Excel spreadsheet in case you have any questions about where these takeoffs came from. So everything's very nicely organized. Now for a more detailed demonstration, please call us at 1-800-731-3038. You can send us some PDF files and maybe a copy of one of your original spreadsheets, and we can do a full takeoff for you here right online and give you an even better idea or a more detailed idea as to how the Quick Measure on-screen program will work for you. Once again, we appreciate your time, and good luck on those bids.